Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter quadratic equations. The lessons we're going to cover today are solve a quadratic equation using square roots, solve an equation using the zero product property, Okay, so we're going to start with the chapter quadratic equations, sorry. Here I'm on grade 10 math. The chapter we are on is quadratic equations. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is solve a quadratic equation using square roots. Okay, how many real solutions does the equation have? V square equals negative 59, right? If you were solving for v, the next step would be taking the square root of negative 59, right? The square root of a negative number is not a real number because no real number squared can be negative, so the equation has no real solution, right? Okay, if a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c has no bx term, you can find the number of solutions by isolating x square. If x square a positive number, there are two solutions. If x square equals 0, there is one solution, that the number 0. If x square equals a negative number, there are no solutions, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, solve for w. W square equals 16, so which is the correct option? You have to square root both sides because you need to find the value of the w, so just square root both sides. That would be w equals plus minus 4. That would be w equals 4 and w equals negative 4. So the correct option is the second one, that is 4. Negative 4 is the correct option, right? The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. How many real solutions does the equation have? N square equals negative 51. So which is the correct option? The correct option is no solution, right? No real solution, because the square root of the negative number is not defined, so that is not a real solution. Option number A is the correct option. How many real solutions does the equation have? Which is the correct option? That is square root 68 equals two real solutions. Option number C is the correct option, right? Solve for d square equals 49. So which is the correct option? The correct option is D equals 7 and negative 7. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? How many real solutions does the equation have? So which is the correct option? That is no real solution, right? Because v square equals negative 59 and you cannot find the square root of the negative numbers. That isn't the real solution number, right? So that means v square equals negative 59 has no real solution, right? Option A is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The lesson is mm, solve an equation using the zero product property. Okay, solve for h. 6h times 3h minus 1 equals 0, right? Basically, according to zero product property, they both equal to 0. 6h is 0, or 3h minus 1 is 0, right? You have to equate both of them to 0, right? And then you have to solve for h. So here h equals 0 and here h equals 1 over 3. The zero product property states that for all real numbers a and b, if ab equals 0, then either a is 0 or either b is 0, right? One of them must be 0. That's why their product is 0, right? So you have to equate them with 0. Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, so solve for v minus 1 times 2v minus 9 equals 0, right? So you have to solve using zero product property. So basically here you are given v minus 1 and 2v minus 1. The product of two things equals 0. That means either of them is 0, right? That's why 0. Maybe v minus 1 equals or 2v minus 9 equals 0. So just solve v equals 1 and 2v equals 9 and v equals 9 over 2. Solution is 1 and 9 over 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Okay, solve for y, which is the correct option. The correct option is 0 and negative 6, right? You have to equate both with 0. So that is 0 and negative 6 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is solve for t. 6t plus 1 times 3t minus 4 equals 0, right? So that means you have to do 6t plus 1 equals 0 or 3t minus 4 equals 0, right? So 6t equals 1, t equals, sorry, negative 1, t equals negative 1 over 6, right? Then for here you have 3t equals 6 plus 4, that is 10, t equals 10 over 3, right? Mm, 4 over 3, 3t, oh that is 0, I thought 6 it is. Hold on. Okay, 3t minus 4 is 0. 3t equals 4 and t equals 4 over 3. So the correct option is option number 2, that is negative 1 over 6 and 4 over 3, right? The next one is solve for d, which is the correct option. That is, yes, the second one is the correct option. That would be negative 8 over 3 and yes, the solution is negative 8 over 3 and negative 7. Option number 2 is the correct option. Solve for S, which is the correct option. Yes, that is 4 and negative 2 over 9. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay, the next one is solve for H, which is the correct option. Yes, the correct option is 0 and 1 over 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is complete the square. Let's just start with the next, and that is complete the square. Okay, complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square. S square plus 28, S plus the missing number, right? How do we find the missing number? We add B over 2 square, right? What is B? The This is B, right? 28 is the B. So you have to add S square plus 28S plus 28 over B whole square, right? So 28 over B is then 14 square. So it would be S square plus 28S plus 196. So the quadratic equation can be written as a square of S plus 4 whole square. And it is a perfect square quadratic. The number needed to complete the square was 198, right? With quadratic expressions like x square plus bx, you can complete the square by adding b by 2 whole square. Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, complete the square, fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square. Okay, so here is b, right? You have to add b over 2 whole square. B is 20 over 2. 20 over 2 is 10 square, right? So you have to do w square minus 20w and plus 10 square, right? W minus 10 whole square, right? You have to add 100. 10 square is 100, right? That means you need to do w square minus 20w plus 100. Got it? So it can be perfect square to w minus 10 whole square. Okay, let's just move on to next one. Okay, m square plus 18m. This b 18 is b. You have to do by 2 whole square, that is 18 over 2 whole square. 2 times 9 is 18. 9 square. You need to add 81, right? It would be m square plus 8m plus, or either you can write m plus 9 whole square. The correct option is you have to add 81. So that means you need to add 81 both sides, right? 81 to make it complete square. option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial perfect square. So which is the correct option? X square plus 20s plus the missing number. So what number you have to add? Which is the correct option? Twenty divided by 2 is 10, right? That means you have to add 10 square, and 10 square equals 100. So you have to add 100 to make it a perfect square, right? The correct option is 100. Okay, complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square. So which is the correct option? You have to add 81, 9 square you have to add, right? B is 18, so 18 over 2 is 9, you have to add 81, right? Okay, complete the square. Z square minus 8z plus the missing number. Which fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square quadratic. Which number you have to add? You have to add b by 2 whole square, right? B is 8. That is 8 over 2 whole square. 8 over 2 is 4 square. 4 square is 16. That means we need to add 16, right? The correct option is 16. Okay, complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square quadratic. So which is the correct option? What number you have to add? B over 2 is 11, right? You have to add 11 square. Got it? 121 you need to add. Option number 2 is the correct option. Hello. Okay, complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square quadratic. B square minus b plus the missing number. So what number you have to add? The correct option is yes, you have to add 25. The correct option is 25. Complete the square. Fill in the missing number that makes a polynomial a perfect square quadratic. The correct option is you have to add, yes, you have to add 12 square. That means you need to add 144. Complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square quadratic. So which is the correct option? you have to add 15 square, right? That is 225 you have to add, right? The correct option is 225. Complete the square. Fill in the number that makes the polynomial a perfect square. So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is you have to add 5 square, that is 25, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. The chapter we were working on is quadratic equations. The lessons we have covered today are solve a quadratic equation using square roots, solve an equation using the zero product property, and complete the square, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday. Or either. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that will be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So that's all for today. If you have any questions related to the lesson we have just finished, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any.